It'll be a really exciting matchup to see. Here we go into game number 1. It is Boomie versus Flower. Yumiko versus Chun-Li.
Yeah, Chun-Li just as popular as always, and let's see how it goes. Already Boomie, excellent D-Light pickup. Now just going to be holding onto the stage. Flower going to be stuck off stage without a weapon. Boomie going to be starving them of a weapon and continuing to do so, dealing a lot of damage. And then,
whoa.
Okay.
Always got to jump check with the fully charged down thing at the very beginning, right? You let the signature rip and you're like, oh, that's not going to hit. You can hold it, and because of the properties there, hits on the left or right side. Sometimes players just like to fall right into it. But there we see the start of what could have been a great setup with that neutral signature if Boomie didn't get right underneath, get the double D-Light into the recovery, and take the first stock.
Yeah, already a fantastic opening for Boomie. Just did not seem to be two-phased, two-threaded in that entire first stock. Flower now just going to be dancing to pick up a weapon here. Gets that bow on hand. Okay, not able to find any of these neutral lights.
Whoa.
Boomie running off stage, wants to close out that stock so early. Already finding it down and so aggressive out there.
Oh, and Flower tries to go for the wake-up ground pound off of Boomie, and Boomie spot dodges it, gets right around, and that jump pivot ground pound will take Flower down twice in under a minute, and this is a huge lead for Boomie going into game 1 here.
Flower's just getting kind of checked, is what's happening here, and Boomie is capitalizing a lot off of every single advantage state. Finally, okay, able to get it down, but not a whole lot else off of that. Boomie being nice and patient, getting back onto the stage. Flower not able to get a lot out of these projectiles quite yet, and now again, okay.
Recovery comes through. Ground pound gets the edge guard. That's the first stock of 3 if Flower wants to take this game number 1. Nice job on the reversal there. And of course, fighting Hammer off stage, a little ill-advised against all levels of play, but when you have 3 stocks to 1, you might as well go for the risk because that could have been the 3 stock. But Flower now actually fighting back quite well. 2 nairs in a row, gets that side light. Boomie dodges out of that down light, neutral light follow-up that could have happened. But this has actually been all Flower here on the second stock. And now the down 6 are starting.
Oh, that was great. That's exactly what you needed to do. You set them up, you force out the resources, and then you're able to cover the landing on the way back down. Flower is dealing a lot of damage and is starting to make quite the comeback. Tassa, how you feeling?
Oh, I mean, that side is telling me how I'm feeling. That might as well have been a 0 to knock up there from Flower, and now we're 2 minutes into the game, and Boomie and Flower have both taken turns, taking 2 stocks in under a minute, and now it's an even game. Boomie finally picks up a weapon, but Flower still has the momentum here.
Yeah, still holding onto the stage, still holding onto the ground, catching all of these different landings from Boomie, and now Flower has all but evened up the game.
Oh.
What is going on?
These sidelines are just catching all these landings. The neutral catches Boomie off of the double jump. He has to dodge to make it back to the stage. Flower goes for the end lane, and Boomie dashes right past him. Okay, Nair connects. Boomie lands with the down air. Side lane to Nair. Can get the recovery here. No, goes for side air to weapon throw instead. Flower uses the dodge. Recovery does connect, and Flower makes it back. That down leg tries to cover the weapon landing, and Boomie and Flower are now both 1 hit away from taking game 1.
Okay, Flower, okay, dashing back and forth, just looking for the next opening here. This could be anybody's game to take at this point. Getting the side light, doesn't actually find the recovery. Flower dodging out to safety, holding onto the ground, not able to catch it in time. The falling sider just knocking Boomie off stage.
The neutral stick to reposition? Okay, Boomie makes it back. I can feel the nerves from both players right now. The side light comes through, doesn't put out the down light. Can't get the recovery follow-up, but that gravity cancel neutral stick does go punished. Sider will put him off the right side of the stage. Hammer picked up, stops there, would do it. Is he gonna look for it? The down light catches him on the jump, and that's going to be the clutch from Boomie in game 1. What a crazy game 1 to open up that set.
That was crazy. Flower won like 6-7 consecutive interactions in a row until Boomie finally got a hit on that last stock. Oh man, that's such a heartbreaker, isn't it? Because I felt like that should have been Flower's comeback to make that game 1, and Flower did so successfully.
Oh yeah, Flower did everything right up until the very last jump. I mean, calling out the jump there with the spear down light, you missed that. Boomie was just, he was done for. What a great call out in that situation. And then Flower, reacted with the fastest move I think possible to that gravity cancel neutral signature that Boomie put out, but the bow Sair is not going to knock out for a very long time, so it gave Boomie so many times to make it back to the stage.
3,
Either way,
2,
I'm glad that that wasn't a 3 stock in under a minute,
me
which
too.
is what I was looking at. I was like, oh no, Flower.
The first 2 stocks went down, and I was like, man, come on. But now we have a set. This is a set. This can actually just kind of go either way depending on the kind of adaptations that Flower is able to make. And yeah, that bow sider falling, that was such a heartbreaker, wasn't it? Because it's like, wow, Yumiko deserved that KO, but Yumiko didn't get it.
Well, we're going into game number 2 here, and Flower is showing a little bit of hesitance with the follow-ups off of these stomps from the hammer. That's twice on it, it's missed. But there's the setup. The neutral sig actually connects, but Flower also misses the follow-up with the nair afterwards, and I'm seeing a little bit of, this has got to be a little bit of nerves coming up from Flower. You've got 4 neutral wins that are supposed to lead to true combos, and you drop all 4 of them. That's not a really great start for game 2. Still, though, no stocks have flown so far, and Flower is actually doing a lot better comparatively to game 1.
Yeah, Flower's going toe-to-toe right now with Boomie in the beginning, and now holding onto the stage, setting up the signature there, and just catching Boomie jumping back onto the stage, able to get the spike. Is this going to be the stock? Not quite yet. Flower opting to play it a little bit safely, just sticking onto the stage, and Boomie comes back on, not unscathed. Took quite a bit of damage on his way back up.
Okay, and now first stock could go either way. Flower puts up the side signature, Boomie dodges right through. Unarmed Nair has them both vying for that weapon, and there's the hammer picked up. Flower waits it out, gets the stop. Nair
That's not
gonna
a KO.
knock out just yet, but at least that first combo comes through, and the falling Nair on the landing will give Flower the lead in game 2.
Flower has the lead, and you know what? The biggest thing that I want to see is exactly what Flower talked about in the interview going up to this, which is organizing the butterflies, something like that. I've never heard of that expression, but just being able to compose yourself so you're not dropping the execution. But that's going to be the first stock on.
Yeah, Boomie doing a great job with the gravity cancel down heavy. And yeah, seeing Flower regain his composure and have that game plan that he talked about that he likes to play around, it's being seen here, although a lot of the follow-ups from the game plan are not working out too well, and Boomie's been taking advantage of that. Finally punishes that down stick. There is a little bit of hesitance, but the ground pound does come through, gets the damage, because we saw in game 1, Flower just fell into the blast and ended up taking a lot of damage for it, and now Boomie struggling to land against Flower's bow.
Boomie is struggling to land, and Boomie is also just not winning a lot of these interactions. It feels like Flower is in a pretty consistent control of the neutral. Okay, able to get that follow-up. That's some pretty big damage. Not able to connect the N-Sig that time around, but still, that's the down air coming out. That's the stomp into the side of Boomie in a nasty angle. Has to come back onto the stage, and Flower just choosing not to commit. Oh, that was so sick.
Wow, what a fake out, too, with the neutral signature, and immediately afterwards, dashing underneath, getting the fast fall. Boomie trying to jump out of the way, whatever Flower's going to do, and Flower's like, I don't have to do anything until you get hit by the trap that he had set. And that led into the recovery. Gets the downer off of that slide charge down heavy as well. And that down signature almost catches Boomie off the side of the stage, but Flower's doing such a great job with Yumiko's signature kit.
Yeah, he is just constantly setting them up and then just waiting for Boomie's next option and then successfully punishing the next option. Flower is getting a little bit ambitious with it. Okay, I respect the commitment. You stock up, and you really want to get this game against Boomie.
I mean, he saw it, and that's the one ground pound in the game where if you actually hit it at white at that range, you're just going to get the knockout there. So Flower bet it all in that situation, brings it down to an even stock situation. And now with the hammer, sitting with the neutral signature, it's almost like the move is just there to distract Boomie so that he can dash right in and get all those hits to get the follow-up afterwards. And you know what? It's just a bonus if Boomie ends up falling into the attack as well. But the double recovery will disarm Flower, and that's the lead for Boomie.
Okay, Flower is slowing down the pace of the match, coming in there with the neutral light. Finally able to get the whip punish on that, getting the D-light into the ground pound as well. Finally picking up the bow as well. Yet again, Cider as a get off me option. Yet again, is that it? That's going to be it. Flower, game number 2.
And that had to have been as early as possible for that knockout there. Boomie was in orange just barely before the combo that connected there, and the neutral signature carrying with the distance, has the force at the very end of the move, will take out Boomie on the left side of that stage, and that's going to be a tied set here as we go into game number 3.
This is sick. This is a really sick set.
It's pretty great.
I am loving Flower's implementation of these signatures because he is setting up the projectiles and then he is constantly mixing up what he is doing after each one. Well, sometimes he's moving in preemptively, sometimes he's waiting, and Boomie seems to be caught off guard by it.
Yeah, and the reason why this is actually really fascinating is because Boomie's showing the matchup knowledge to where at the very start when Flower was putting up the neutral signature on Hammer, right, or the down signature on Hammer, but when the attack was coming out, you could just dash right underneath that. As long as you don't jump, you're not getting caught by the attacks. But Flower has options that goes past that once his opponent shows that they have matchup knowledge in that situation, and that's what's been catching Boomie off guard. I've been seeing setups on the Yumiko that I didn't even originally think were possible because Flower's positioning after the move comes out ends up guiding his opponent into the trap, and then the follow-up happens afterwards. And look at this.
Threatening him, and Boomie feels threatened. But right now, Boomie trying to get this juggle going, goes for the same exact N-Sig, and Flower, excellent little punish there, able to find the down air. That's going to be a second one. Not going to be the stock quite yet. Backing off a little bit, resetting neutral, playing a little bit more patiently, and that's going to be the stock.
Oh, and that is some amazing peace of mind coming out from Flower there, just being able to stop moving completely, take a look at what his opponent's doing, and be like, okay, dash jump, gravity cancel, stop, Sair. That's the first stock, and then getting that sidelight coming through. Boomie can't get the dodge read after the sidelight connects. That N-Sig will finally do it, but only after taking a little bit of damage himself. Flower still barely in the lead.
Barely in the lead, but you know what? That is such a change of pace from game 1 where he lost those first 2 stocks so quickly. I think he actually just got himself composed. Yeah. This is what's happened. He is now tapped into the game. Boomie looking for the next opening at this point, looking for the neutral. Nice whip punish on the whip. Delay.
Okay, down 6 are coming through. Goes in for that sidelight. Gravity cancel sidelight recovery. Okay, Boomie goes to the weapon throw, but Flower right away with the wake-up nair. We'll put Boomie above him, and the landings from Flower have been covered so well. Boomie's finally able to get back to the ground, and then the delayed neutral signature to get the dodge. Okay, the dodge comes through. Flower uses the gravity cancel N-Sig to get back to the stage faster, and Boomie uses the ground pound actually to touch the wall so they can avoid the edge guard from Flower, and they both make it back.
Flower is just buying time every single one of those D6, right? Because you put it out there, and then you're basically saying, hey, you do not have infinite time. I have plenty of time to play with. Almost found that side out. Boomie, excellent dodge through it.
Oh, and then he fades back away from the stomp. Okay, down air comes through. Boomie doesn't get the nair right afterwards. A Flower, dash jump, pivot, dash jump into that side air, waiting for Boomie to land, knows that Boomie wants the weapon. It doesn't give him a chance. That dash forward, Enlight catches him right at the end of the stage, and Flower takes the lead once again, 2-1.
Takes the lead once again, but just a couple of hits away, and that's going to be the stock as well. So let's see, is Flower going to be able to not deny Boomie of the weapon? Yes, they will. Picking up the hammer yet again, finding a way to land, tossing the weapon down, and then just faking out to the opposite side. Left weaponless, still connects the neutral, getting a good amount of damage out, but finally, whoa. That's not the KO. Yeah,
it's not the KO. Flower still holding on. One more recovery come there. It could be a huge deal, but that unarmed recovery in the sidelight might be as much extra credit as Flower needs to take this game 3. Gravity cancel D-light recovery. True combos off the top of the stage, and Boomie brings it back 1-1.
Okay, both of them now going to be left weaponless, but the weapon toss coming back down, just catching him in all of the lag of just being in a multi-hit and being in that neutral light. And now all of a sudden, okay, Flower finding the neutral layer as well.
Yeah, it's a classic Boomie chump check there, where he goes to the weapon throw up, and he's like, you know what, you can hit me during this, but I'll just keep spamming Enlight again. That Entig ends up getting the full amount of damage in the nair follow-up, and that's huge. Flower gets a sidelight stops there. That's the game, and Flower brings the match point so quick on that conversion there at the end. I think Flower just solidly has figured out a game plan against Boomie here. This is a elimination bracket match, right? So Boomie and Flower are on the elimination side here at BCX. The loser of this is out of the tournament. The winner of this goes to fight Snowy, and Flower has brought Boomie to the brink.
This is very surprising. This is actually quite unexpected, especially given Flower's previous match to actually get knocked down into elimination side. We really do not know what they're currently capable of at the moment, but at the moment, they're poised to take this set against Boomie, and I'm curious, how much fight does Boomie have left in him?
I mean, we're about to find out. It's Fortress of Lions, and Boomie is potentially on the last game here that he's going to be playing competitively at BCX. Flower in the lead in this set, and possibly in the game as well. Boomie fighting unarmed, goes for one sidelight, gets hit again by another sidelight. Boomie picks up the gauntlets, and immediately Flower attacks back with one sidelight, uses that movement towards the center of the stage to really keep Boomie on his toes, and no, the Enlights are not connecting. Sidelight comes through again. Can he get another? No, can't quite find it yet. And now that Enlight misses, Boomie finally gets a punish, but the dare stops Boomie in the middle of what was going to be a great follow-up.
Okay, holding on to the hammer now, popping out that N-Sig, and once again, dashing out there, able to get the D-Light. Finally, Boomie finding his way back onto the stage. Waiting, that's going to be the sidelight. Doesn't get the double sidelight, though, on the platform. A little bit unfortunate. And Flower looking for the anti, looking for a way to catch Boomie on the way back down. Boomie threatening with the idea of a ground pound, but that weapon toss was huge.
Oh, I think Boomie thought he could space right around it and get the ground pound to catch Flower off guard, but it was perfectly spaced. Boomie gets the gravity cancel D-Light recovery, though, and this is the best lead that Boomie's had since game number 1, which, keep in mind, despite the 3-stock-to-1 lead, still almost.
He's only had one lead. Let's make it clear. He's only had one lead. This is his second lead period, right? So now going into this, unfortunately not connecting the D-Light into the side of it.
Yeah, that downlight was actually a surprise to both players, I think. And Flower just waits out patiently for that down sig to come through. He's punished it perfectly ever since he fell into the very first down sig at the beginning of the game, and now putting out his own down sigs to try and get Boomie to fall into those attacks. Follow up by the nair. Flower now gets that stop side air, disarms Boomie, has an edge guard, goes for the downer, and any strong hit from the hammer at this point would just knock him out.
It's so funny. Every single hammer player, whenever they want stomp, they just start doing nothing and dash in, dash out, and they just want stomp, and they'll eventually hit it every single time.
Most Brawlhalla hammer players grew up watching Little Captain. That is just a patented thing from him for about years. But that, okay, down sig and air comes through, and Flower takes Boomie off the top. Now, keep in mind that was still Boomie's first stock. Flower took a lot of damage during that, and this is Boomie's best chance to bring this to a game 5.
This is the best chance, and even then, it's still not that much of a lead now, is it? Boomie is not winning a lot of these neutral interactions, and that is something that I'm noticing between this and the last couple of games. Flower is just going toe-to-toe and even exceeding him in the neutral.
Yes, and it's continuing to be that way, and Boomie still has to figure out how to get around Flower's game plan. They're getting stronger as the set progresses. Enlight comes through, neutral light comes through as well. Boomie's got Flower off the side of the stage. Now, the one thing I will mention, right, is in the same way that kind of barely won 3-2, Boomie does have, objectively, so much more experience clutching out tournament sets at LAN than Flower does, right? Flower's having the performance of his lifetime, but this is still Boomie that we're talking about here. And as he puts Flower off the right side of the stage with that Enlight, he's bringing it down to 1 stock and potentially to a game 5.
Yeah, this is so good. Flower basically is the one that painted his own picture, right? For us, when going onto the stage and talking about managing, you know, gives any excitement. And the question is, can you compose yourself? Can you keep yourself together? Can you do this? You are a little bit behind this game, but you do not want to give up your total game lead. At the moment, though, Boomie wants this. Boomie is fighting with everything that he possibly has, looking for a way to get back onto the stage. Double exclamation mark coming out, and now he's back in it. He's back swinging, and Flower is not connecting any hits anymore.
Yeah, Boomie's actually doing a very good job being like, you know what, I'm tired of dealing with that. The side stick comes through. He was challenging the down six quite often for Flower at the very beginning. Nice stop sider to be able to get that stock. But now he's just kind of like, you know what, I'll wait until Flower decides to leave that corner of the stage before I engage against his opponent like that. And now, 1 stock to 1. Flower's starting to put some damage back onto Boomie's stock. Actually, that's a ton of damage coming through there from the bow.
I was going to say, some damage is an understatement. Flower holding onto center stage, constantly anti-airing Boomie. That's not going to be it, but it does put Flower in a nasty position off stage.
Does Boomie go for it? Does he go for it? I don't think he does. Side stick comes through. Okay, sidelight, downlight recovery would knock out. Sider comes through, and now Boomie just has to find one good downer, but he throws his weapon away. Gauntlets are picking up, and that's a lot much harder. He's been getting those downlight recoveries. Let's see if he's going to go for it, because he's got to expend his dodge to be able to get that to really work.
Oh, Flower is menacing. Flower is not immediately pressing, just waiting for Boomie's next defensive option, hoping to react, trying to space that out.
No way. N-Sig can come through here, puts up the down sig instead, weapon throw forward. If Flower could get an anti-air with the neutral sig on bow, it would just knock out, but the Sarah connects, and Boomie clutches, going to game 5.
That jump in and that weapon throw was the perfect way to deal with that situation. He just went up and around it, and that was way before Flower was actually ready to, react with like a dodge or something. Boomie was able to break space, and then he was able to make that situation his own, and now all of a sudden, this is going to a game 5 in a set that, statistically speaking, well, given the PL differential, should have been like 3-0 in Boomie's favor, and then it opened off so aggressively for Boomie, and now it's going to a game 5.
Oh, this is so tough for Flower. I'm just thinking about his journey here at BCX, where it's like literally all zeros on the board when it comes to his experience competitively, and then you're like, oh yeah, I placed my seed going game 5 against Kaina and Boomie, and that's a possibility that could come here, and that would be incredible. I think he's like comparatively, I think like a 60 seed, somewhere in like either 65 or 66. So like this is, and he's taken some time there to collect himself, because he's like, okay, I know that I can win this, but I have to be able to stay with it. Meanwhile, Boomie is actually looking more comfortable than he did all set.
So this is something that Polly and I talked about, and we have a missing feature. We need a feature desperately that we need on Start GG.
What is that?
And that is a drop-down menu that gives you an asterisk instead.
Okay.
But it was close though.
Yeah, that has been the ask for like years of casting Brawlhalla.
You need
to get the
player
3-0, but it's pushed.
the exact reason why they lost and post the clips of them comboing the person that beat them.
256 character limit, yeah, with the clip in addition to it. We're going to Fortress of Lions here for game number 5, and yeah, this is going to be one of those asterisks, but it was close sets, right? And I mean, luckily, because you've got 5 games going through in a best of 5, it's pretty easy to tell that it was. So let's go on here into game number 5. Boomie goes for the N-Sig, doesn't get punished by Flower there, and I can already see both players realizing the gravity of the situation.
Yeah, this is elimination side. You have one last game, you have one last shot to be in for the entirety of this weekend, and Flower does not want to go out now. Flower does not want to put that asterisk online, and now just getting all of this damage out, backing down into the ground. I love Flower's anti-airing, and I love the way that he has been controlling the ground and making it so hazardous for Boomie to land it.
Yeah, it was what I was hoping that he would succeed with in the previous game, but it ended up getting beat out by Boomie. And that N-Sig could get punished. Downsig comes through. Flower has shown perfect prowess in punishing that now. Downsig comes forward. Is Flower going to go for the down like he does, but Boomie gets right back onto stage. Weapon starved away from Boomie, and Stomp Sarah could do great here. And in these moments, Flower's actually been great at just posting up, reacting to what Boomie's going to do, and then getting that gravity cancel stomp into whatever follow-up necessary to get that stock. And he's looking for it right now, and Boomie does get caught by that dash jump. Sarah, Flower catches him off guard, and that's the first stock of 3.
Is a very gentle stock lead at this point. He's not going to get knocked out by one hit, but definitely 2 of them at this point. Hammer in hand, looking for some sort of an anti-air, but Boomie just being nice and patient, not able to connect that sidelight. Hanging on to the stage now. What's it going to be? Jumps out there, goes for the side air. You've got to be careful edge guarding Hammer.
The stomp into Endlight actually combos because of how low it caught him, and then Boomie recovers into the down sig. Lots of damage coming through there. No dodge from Boomie could be a huge problem, but he does make it back. He's taking so much damage. These sidelights are starting to rack up. Doesn't get the follow after the stomp recovery, but Flower now almost has an entire stock lead. That down sig of all moves comes through, bounces him off the stage and takes the stock, but Boomie holds on for dear life.
He squeezed every last possible drop out of that stock. He has dealt so much damage onto Boomie, and now it is up to Boomie to make that up. Is he capable? He needs that sidelight, he needs that downlight, he needs that neutral light, he needs some kind of an opening, and Flower is making it so difficult. I have not really seen Boomie struggle this much to find an opening against somebody.
Yeah, Boomie's starting to do a lot better about the immediate downlights that are coming after these sidelights, and Flower's starting to adapt. He didn't go for the downlight right away, and Boomie jumped out of it, doesn't want to get by the attack, and now the anti-airs that you were talking about are coming through. These end lights catching every one of Boomie's landings, and Boomie going for these weapon throws, not hitting them, not getting the weapons, and Flower is back in that situation again where one strong hit from the hammer, I mean dash jump Sair, that's going to take Boomie's stock here, and Flower's looking for it. Nice call out from Boomie though, gets that D-Light side air, that's the first of a lot of damage, but now Boomie is on tournament stock here, Dara.
On tournament stock, and Flower has now solidified himself an incredible lead, and this is where champions are made. This is where you have to take a deep breath, this is where you have to compose yourself, this is where you have to keep on playing steady, and you talked about it before, Boomie has been in this situation basically more than anybody else, but Flower is dealing so much damage. How do you come back from this, Taza?
Oh, he doesn't get the recovery after the downlight. Ends up getting that attack. Sidelight comes through, double sidelight. Recovery, delays it. Weapon throw comes down. Does he pick up the weapon? No, he doesn't. Flower unarmed just for a bit. Fresh hammer comes through, so Bo is on deck. Boomie has a spear available to him, so he's got to get a good jump rate to be able to get that dealer recovery. And
he's
Flower
got nothing available
the weapon.
He doesn't have anything. Flower just continuing to deny Boomie of a weapon until he finally gets out there. He gets that stock.
Flower reels back in his chair after that one.
Game 5.
All right,
last stock, elimination side, dude.
Yeah, okay, spear picked up. Flower, what is he going to find? Weapons coming through. He's using his movement hammer. All right, Boomie looking for that first opening. Can he find it? Spot dodges in place. Sidelight goes wide. Second sidelight hits, gets the nair and the dodge up read. That's a good start. And the downlight side air. Boomie getting all the neutral wins here in the last moment.
Nice and patient, coming back on, able to punish that downlight, but nothing else after it, finding the down on the way back down. Flower's able to get the side air. What's it going to be?
Misses the side air. Boomie goes in for the neutral signature, goes unpunished, goes for the weapon throw, interrupts the downside, he catches the landing with the end light.
That was a good recognition that he was too far away, but doesn't actually get the follow-up that time. That's going to KO Flower, taking it 3-2 over Boomie. Oh my god.
With the side stick call as well. After the down stick interrupted his nair follow-up, I thought that was going to be it, but no, he finds the attack, and Boomie sent flying off the right side of the stage, and Flower pops right out of his chair, celebrating a win where, yes, he did not beat Kinda, but he does beat Boomie to move on to fight an opponent is equally challenging, if not more so, which is Snowy, who's been waiting for him on the elimination side. What an upset. Let's go over to Glitter to have a word with Flower, who apparently played to that game plan and won.
All right, we'll see if he has.